reconsideration? Okay,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Senator Leno, thank you for your patience. We did. We already voted on consent. You've been sitting there all the time. It's a long time ago, right? Senator Leno, you have item 14, SB 1460. Thank you very much for your patience.
Yes, a non-controversial bill for you,
Oh, really?
dealing with the City College of San Francisco. I think the committee is aware that San Francisco's City College has been through a very rough patch, very much as the result of an overly aggressive and now recognized as rogue commission, the Accrediting Commission for Community and Junior Colleges, otherwise known as the CCJC. Though the state community college enrollment has dropped by about 8% in recent years, the enrollment at San Francisco City College has dropped closer to 35%. And it's been very much a direct result of the show cause status for its accreditation that was imposed upon it by the ACCJC. And this has become a bit of a death spiral, and as a result of the support of this committee and the entire legislature, last year we put in place 3 additional years of stabilization funding for the college, and that has really kept it alive. We probably would not be where we are today without that additional support to get us through this rough patch. The accreditation should be finally confirmed by January 1st of next year, so we'll have that behind us. In the meantime, we're down from around 32,000 to 22,000 full-time equivalent students. At one time, with all part-time enrollment included, 1 out of 8 San Franciscans attended our community college. It's closer to 100,000 about 10 years ago. So what this bill specifically will do is it extends for 3 years, starting in 2017-18, the restoration period, which City College of San Francisco will be allowed to grow at a rate beyond the state enrollment cap of 1% to 2%. And why this is so necessary is that the 1% to 2% cap had never envisioned the kind of enrollment crisis that our city college has experienced as a result of the actions taken by this commission. And if we don't extend an allowance beyond the cap for at least 3 years, which this bill will do, or getting us back to where we were before this precipitous drop, it would take us 20 years under that cap to get back to where we were. So with that, I would ask for your aye vote. I also want to thank the committee, staff, and you, Madam Chair, for the clarifying amendment in the analysis, which we are happy to take as authors' amendments.
Okay, thank you. In support of the bill, please.
Yes, we have the Chancellor, interim Chancellor of City College of San Francisco, a good friend of mine, Susan Lamb. Please proceed.
I'm just here to support the bill, and if you do have any follow-up questions, I'll be happy to speak to them.
Okay.
Yes, I'm Tim Killikelly. I'm president of AFT 2121, the faculty union at City College of San Francisco. And I'm also speaking on behalf of California Federation of Teachers. The accreditation crisis at the City College of San Francisco has had a devastating impact upon our community and our college and the students. I think it's very important to realize that when the commission issued its show cause report, that never was educational quality ever an issue. As a matter of fact, if you look at the scorecard in the California community colleges, you'll see that City College of San Francisco performs better than most of the colleges in the state of California. And in fact, according to DOE officials, it does particularly well in helping educate people who come to college underprepared already. And so that's why it pains us so much to see what the impact has been. There has been about, I would say there's probably about 25,000 students who who would normally be going to City College, who there is no evidence that they are going anywhere else. And that has been really the biggest impact. Like, what are they doing? Where is their path? Where is their educational path? Right now, they believe things like the college may be closed already, or that the credits that they take, that if at some point or other the college is disaccredited, the credits that they take now wouldn't count. So why would you go there? There's all sort of misinformation about this because of what had happened in the accreditation crisis. And this bill helps stabilize the situation so that the college can grow back to where it was before and be able to serve the educational needs of all the people in San Francisco and in the Bay Area. I want to thank you, and we support this bill.
As a special trustee.
Right.
Special trustee has
Okay.
authority skill.
All right. Is there anyone opposed to the bill? Any questions from members? You're all tired out. Senator Huff, good.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Still a little wind in my sails. I reserved comments last time. I didn't speak that much. Senator Leno, I know we dealt with this issue before, and so we continue to have declining enrollment. We're continuing to cite the accreditation problem. And yet, from looking at my notes here, the 3 districts nearest to this district are also suffering declining enrollment. And then you can also get a little spread on out to San Jose and Monterey. So I think there's something bigger going on than just, the past accreditation problem. In fact, we have a number of 23 districts have declining enrollment around the state. And this is not going to help hold them harmless either. Several of them have actually higher declining enrollment. So it seems like that is sort of in the life cycle of educational systems. If you get into our elementary and high school, we have half our school districts across the state are in declining enrollment also. So I guess the question is, how do we prop up and choose one and basically take from all these others, even the ones in declining enrollment, to make your district whole? Doesn't that exacerbate the problem for some? I understand it helps yours, but it seems like it exacerbates the problem.
So it's a reasonable question, Senator. I think it's a more appropriate question for the 3-year extension of the stabilization funding, which we did in last year's budget. And we were only successful in doing that when the statewide system chancellor endorsed it. And I don't want to speak for him, but my understanding of why he supported assisting San Francisco with this additional stabilization funding, which is not before us today. This is a different issue for the extension of the cap for enrollment growth. But having conversations with the chancellor at that time, the system is only as strong as its weakest link, and San Francisco is the largest district. And if it had failed, it could have been a serious threat to the entire system. And so with the chancellor's blessing, we did collectively extend the stabilization funding. I would love to be back here today proposing 3 more years of stabilization funding for San Francisco and San Francisco alone, but I'm not, because I realize that's just not in reality. And I've told my folks from San Francisco City College, as much as I'd love to do it for you, I don't want to give you hope that we're going to be able to do something we can't. What I do think we can do, and what I do think is a reasonable request of this committee, is because of the unique situation in San Francisco, and yes, there are life cycles, there are ups and downs. The employment growth is so strong in the Bay Area right now that there are fewer people going to pursue education because they can get jobs, and in many cases, higher paying jobs because of this tech boom, especially throughout the peninsula and at the tip of the peninsula in San Francisco. So there are multiple reasons why enrollment is down in numbers of districts, especially in the Bay Area, but not at the rate as in San Francisco, and we can tie it directly. I can show you a graph, a bar graph, very quickly and simply, that shows when enrollment plummeted. It took a deep dive right at the time at the threat of accreditation. So I'm hopeful that this 3 years of lifting of the cap so that we can grow faster than we otherwise could will solve all the problems. I don't know that it will, but without it, we're going to be yet at great risk. And again, I'm here to say thank you to all of my colleagues for supporting us for the additional 3 years of stabilization funding, because I don't know that the college would be existing today without it. It's been that severe.
Thank you.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Let me just say, move the bill. The bill's been moved. Let me just say that 2012 was a really tough year for San Francisco Community College. Not only the Accreditation Commission, but the FICMAC came in, and the finances of the institution was challenging, is an understatement. And I know that the chancellor did appoint a special trustee whose powers now have slowly dissipated, and
Correct.
you're coming back, et cetera. The most obvious thing here is that the bill would not restore any FTS funding to you unless there is an increased enrollment actually occurs, okay? So they're not going to get paid for something that just,
The challenge is on
the
us.
challenge is on you. So with that, the chair is supportive of the bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right, the bill has been moved. No other discussion, question? Okay, let's call the roll.
This is item number 14, SB 1460. Motion is due, pass as amended to appropriations. Lou?
Aye.
Lou, aye. Block? Block, aye. Hancock?
Aye.
Hancock, aye. Huff? Huff, aye. Leyva? Leyva, aye. Mendoza? Monning? Monning, aye. Pan? Vidak? Vidak, no. 6-1.
6-1, we'll leave the roll open for our absent members, okay?
Thank you, Madam
Thank you
Chair.
very
and
much.
Committee members.
Okay, Senator Hancock, you have a bill, item 3, SB 1042.
Madam Chair and committee members, today I'm presenting SB 1042, which I think is a technical adjustment to an unintended consequence of a previous bill that has been suggested to us by and is supported by the California Department of Education. The bill amends the definition of 3-year-old eligibility for the California State Preschool Program by returning to previous eligibility dates that were in place prior to the implementation of transitional kindergarten. In 2013, with the adoption of transitional kindergarten, which we call TK, the cutoff date for 5-year-olds to enter kindergarten was gradually phased in to the date of September 2nd. To align with those changes, the cutoff for preschool was also gradually shifted so that now a child must turn 3 by September 1st to be eligible for the California State Preschool Program. Prior to that, children were eligible if their birthday fell on or before December 2nd. The problem now is that some of our state preschool programs are having a difficult time filling their program with 4-year-olds because more families are enrolling the 4-year-olds in TK. Preschool programs that are unable to fill their slots wind up forfeiting money back to the state general fund. So the solution to this is to simply change the age eligibility deadline for 3-year-old students back to December 2nd. That would mean that a child that turns 3 on or before December 2nd would be eligible for the California State Preschool Program. It will allow these children to have a full year of preschool before attending transitional kindergarten. And I'd just like to point out that the priority here in these programs is for at-risk kids. These are children who are in foster care, who have been abused or neglected, or come from very low-income families. These are the children that need a full year of preschool prior to transitional kindergarten to give them the best chance for success. The bill doesn't expand the number of preschool slots available, but allows us to serve as many eligible children as possible while not adding any additional costs to the state. With me today in support is LaWanda Wesley with the Alameda County Planning Council, Clarissa Douthard with Parent Voices in Oakland, and Debbie Look from the California Department of Education.
Okay, in support of the bill, please.
Hi, my name is LaWanda Wesley, and I am with the Alameda County Alameda Early Care and Education Council, and I am in support of the bill as well as my agency. And I am here to talk about what our county is facing should this bill not be approved. We have about 160 state contractors in our county who are servicing preschool children, and a number of these programs could face closure if the decline in preschool enrollment continues. And I also want to talk about what that looks like for layoffs for employment for our workforce, as well as what that means for children not receiving services. As a child development expert, it does mean that children would have interrupted services, and this is an impact on the rapid period of brain development. And so when you think about that period of 3 months of not receiving educational services, it also places parents having to look for alternate care, and sometimes that alternate care is not in high-quality environments. And those services may continue because parents are either in approved work plan or are in school. So I also want to talk about the importance of making sure that 3-year-olds are defined as those children who start preschool with the cutoff being in December. Those children at this point of time are needing all the support from a highly trained workforce. And if we do not allow these children in, again, they would face interruption in educational services. I also want to talk briefly my perspective of being a parent who moved from welfare to work. I have 5 children who were in preschool settings, and one of them now, one of your preschool children, state preschool children, is an engineer. She graduated from Georgia Tech. She's my daughter. She works in China right now. And had she had interrupted services in education, she may not be the engineer she is today, and she's returning to California in a couple years to contribute to this state. I also want to say I went on to earn my doctorate because I was able to keep all 5 of my children as a single parent in uninterrupted services. So that I am very grateful for. And then lastly, I want to talk about the number of children that we served. In our county, we had a demand of over 10,000 children who needed preschool services. 5,000 of those children were 3-year-olds and 5,000 were 4-year-olds. We were able to service 7,500 of those kids. We had a shortfall of 3,000 children who weren't served. And so had we had the age eligibility defined as children who started preschool or whose birthday they turned 3 before December, we would have been able to service 1,500 more of those children who did not receive educational services. So in conclusion, I do want to say that we want to make sure that SB 1042 is supported and does go forth. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please.
Hi, good morning. My name is Clarissa Douthard. I'm the Executive Director of Parent Voices Oakland and Alameda County. I'd like to thank the committee for hearing my statement today on behalf of Oakland's youngest learners and their families. Parent Voices advocates for affordable, accessible, quality childcare for all families that need it. In particular, our work focuses on developing the leadership of low-wealth parents to improve the childcare system for their families based on their own lived experiences. I'm here today to represent those families. The families that cannot be here because they are working, struggling to make ends meet, and who desperately want to ensure their children have the important early learning opportunities that we all know lead to a bright future. In addition to experiencing my own personal challenges enrolling my son Xavier when he was preschool aged, my organization has experienced firsthand many of the barriers parents encounter when trying to find a safe, nurturing environment for their children. Studies have shown that kindergarten readiness is crucial to the academic success of young scholars. I've worked with many parents who are eager to enroll their children into preschool because their children were ready to learn. Their children were ready to develop the social, emotional skills that will support their growth. However, these families are regularly turned away because their children miss the deadline by only days. Parents are devastated when they learn their children will be forced to wait nearly an entire school year until they can enroll, missing 9 months of playing with their peers, having a safe place to learn while their parents' work is unfair and cruel. To ask these children to continue to wait because of a technicality is missing a tremendous opportunity to close the achievement gap that we all know exists. Our organization partnered with Oakland Unified School District to help them enroll and fill preschool classrooms, the classrooms that LaWanda referred to. We contacted family and held enrollment events, and immediately it became clear that the current age guideline was a barrier, a huge barrier, and a burden on many families. Extending the enrollment age to 2.9 years old will make such an impact on the learning and development of so many children and will support families as a whole. This prepares both child and parent for the structure and experience of school, ensuring they are not left behind. This should be the priority. No child deserves to be left behind. When they're ready to start making friends and getting into routines that will support literacy, emotional intelligence, and developmental progress. Low-income parents already have so many doors slammed in their faces regularly. There's so many different programs and critical services that they rely on, and navigating those systems more often than not creates more hardship than help. Preschool should not be one of those programs. I urge the committee to support them and their children, our families that are depending on programs like preschool to support their children, to ensure that they grow and develop. Please support families and the children who are ready to learn, thrive, and play. Please support SB 1042. Thank you.
Thank you. Ann? Good morning, Madam Chairman. Debbie Look on behalf of State Superintendent of Public Instruction Tom Torlakson here as the sponsor of SB 1042. We see this as a very simple change that will provide more opportunities for younger 3-year-olds to have a full year of preschool before they attend transitional kindergarten for all the benefits that have been previously stated. Would also allow our state preschool contractors to fill all of their contracted slots and not have to return money when money is given out for preschool services. We want to see that used to the maximum ability possible. The current code does retain the priority for 4-year-olds, so they will be served first before 3-year-olds are served. But when there are opportunities, we want to make sure those slots are taken up. The state preschool program is developmentally appropriate for even the younger 3-year-olds, as those were the ages that were in place when the preschool foundations were developed, the kind of curriculum standards that we use. There will be no fiscal impact from this bill. As Senator Hancock mentioned, we are not increasing slots, although we certainly dearly love to do so. That isn't the case in this particular bill. And just finally, just want to reemphasize the fact that research is clear that high-quality early education, such as that offered through the California State Preschool Program, is a sound investment and invaluable for the future academic success of young children, particularly those from low-income families, as well as English learners or those with exceptional needs. On behalf of the state superintendent, I urge your aye vote on SB 1042. Thank you. Any others in support of the bill?
Good morning, Madam Chair and Senators. Pamela Gibbs, representing the Los Angeles County Office of Education. As the state's largest provider of Head Start and state preschool programs, we urge your support for this bill. We know it's going to encourage 3-year-olds to participate in very quality-oriented early childhood education programs, and also open up the funding opportunities for both systems. So for those reasons, we urge your support. Thank you.
Thank you. Any others in support of the bill? Is there any opposition? The committee didn't receive any. Are there any questions from members? Pretty quiet. I think we really beat you down. The only question I had, is that there are 33,000 4-year-olds that are not being served. And the question is, if the present system recoups, and I don't know whether or not we could ever build a system to move money around. And I think that's, in my head, that's probably beyond your capacity. I don't know.
May I respond?
Yes.
Yeah, the issue is where those children are located. So
Right.
overall, as a state, there are a number of 4-year-olds that are not being served, but it depends on the particular geographic area. And the department does not have the ability to move the money from one contract to another, other than under certain circumstances within a particular county. So overall, there is a need, but it, again, depends on the geographic area. So we're allowing within a particular geographic area, if there aren't enough 4-year-olds in that area, to serve the 3-year-olds.
But we do know where those 33,000 unserved kids are, don't we?
We do not have a good answer for that. We, a number of years ago, the state defunded the central eligibility list, which was the waiting list that gave us good data on where the needs were, and we do not have that data at this point. Some counties have continued to do that with their own funding, so there are pockets where that information is available, but is not clearly available statewide.
Okay, it's on a different subject matter, but, I would encourage us to try to address all of our 4-year-old needs
Yes.
prior to, filling back slots. But I understand what's going on here, and I'm supportive of Ms. Hancock's bill.
Thank you.
So, thank you. Is no other discussion? Okay, let's call the roll. Oh, Ms. Hancock, would you like to close?
I would ask for your aye vote. I know that there's still a work in progress coming from the governor, but we don't know if that will materialize. And this is something that will allow us to fill all the slots
Right.
with young students who really need the help and support. And I would ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Senator Vidak and Senator Block, would you mind, because Senator Huff has an appointment elsewhere, he would like to present Senator Runner's bill. Would you folks mind?
But we're going to.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm ahead of myself. Let's take the roll on this. I'm sorry. I thought we already did this. I'm in a hurry here.
Okay,
Does that have something to do with this?
No.
okay, this is item 3, SB 1042, due pass to appropriations. Lou?
Aye.
Lou, aye. Block? Aye. Block, aye. Hancock? Aye. Hancock, aye. Huff? Huff, no. Leyva? Leyva, aye. Mendoza? Monning? Aye. Monning, aye. Pan? Vidak? Aye. Vidak, aye. That's 6-1.
6-1, we'll hold the road open for absent members. Thank you. Yeah. And thank you, Senator Block and Senator Vidak, for allowing Senator Huff to present Senator Runner's bill. Senator Runner's bill is item 11, SB 1411. I'm sorry we ran so late, but stop talking. Okay.
You ready?
We're ready.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On behalf of Senator Runner and presenting SB 1411. SB 1411 would require that a standardized, user-friendly, respect for all sign be conspicuously posted in every public grade school in California. The sign would serve as notice that bullying, discrimination, and intimidation and harassment of students would not be tolerated and could result in suspension, expulsion, or criminal prosecution. The bill is introduced because too many kids suffer in silence as a result of incessant bullying. All too often, persistent bullying goes unreported because the victim is intimidated, humiliated, or simply confused about seeking help. In extreme cases, when a child who has been the victim of bullying commits suicide, the inevitable questions arise regarding who knew the child was in crisis, who reported the problem, what action was taken. Unfortunately, provisions locked inside the Education Code provide little comfort to a child tormented by aggressive bullies. SB 1411 seeks to inform every child that they're entitled to a fear-free learning environment and there's help at their school and beyond the school walls to protect their rights. The objective of posting an actual, tangible Respect for All sign in each school is to help deter prospective bullies and to provide some relief to victims by directing them and others willing to assist a path to remediation. Signs which communicate consequences impact conduct, such as radar enforcement and burglar alarms. The sergeants are handing out a sample of what the posters could look like. I believe the sergeants are. Somebody is. And I also have Charles Fennessy from Senator Runner's staff to answer any questions you may have. One question that was lobbed to me by Senator Monning before he left was, would these signs be posted in other languages? And currently they're not, but I understand that Senator Runner's office will be working with the Superintendent of Public Instruction to come up with some guidelines on how that would be handled.
Okay, all right. Is there any support for the bill? Is there any opposition? Okay, are there questions from members? Who's left?
No. Move the bill.
Bill has been moved. Would you like to close?
Ask for your aye vote.
This is one of those bills, Senator Huff. Is it necessary?
Would you like me to answer that? Do we have bullying?
Yes, do we have bullying? Yes. Please call the roll.
Item 11, SB 1411, due pass to appropriations. Lou?
Aye.
Lou, aye. Block? Block, aye. Hancock? Huff?
Aye.
Huff, aye. Leyva? Leyva, aye. Mendoza? Monning? Pan? Vidak?
Aye.
Vidak, aye. That's 5.
5 votes. We'll keep the roll open for absent members. Okay, Senator Vidak, you have item 7, SB 1178.